The page for my Find Steed. I need the war horse.
Oh.
This is a bicycle built for one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get that. I'll get that in there during our session.
She's got no love for my puns
today. Oh, okay, great. My goodness, we picked up more followers last night. That's good.
Did we?
Yes.
I stopped by to watch
Twitch.
for like a good hour.
Yeah. Apparently we also got rated, which is kind of weird, getting rated while you're doing character creation.
You guys talked about bards for a long time.
Yeah, well, it was an interesting topic. Okay, I've got 2 minutes. I need to go grab something to drink. And then let's see. Okay, okay, come on. We will start close to the top of the hour. Until then, music and table talk. Alright. So I'm gonna mute. I'll go grab a drink. I'll be
Hey Pete.
Yes.
Have you seen the new season of Megalobox?
No, I didn't know there was a new season out. I will have to watch that.
Yeah, it's called Nomad.
Nomad?
Yeah, Nomad Megalobox 2.
I had to watch that. I really enjoyed the first season.
I heard it's like he's like much older now or something.
Well, considering how long it's been since the first season, I'm not too surprised they go that route. Hey, Ivy.
Hi, I'm mad.
You're mad?
How's it going, everybody?
Because that one lied to me.
Who lied to you?
That one.
That one? Which?
Yup, that one. Care to explain yourself? Ken! He told me he wasn't going to be here. Now he's here, so now I'm happy, but I'm still angry. And yes, it did not very much just for a lot of better to wake up. But we don't talk about that.
Only left bed once today to get food.
I feel bad. Now I have my whole setup in my bedroom. So now I can just roll over on the other side of my bed and just, yeah, in my chair, let's go. And hello. Dun, dun, dun. Ow. Fuck. That's my leg. Okay, just go back to
For
being
some
quiet.
reason, the Twitch thing, the countdown to his stream says it happens at 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Wow.
It's
Yeah.
3 p.m. for me.
All right. Hello, and welcome, everybody. Welcome, players. Welcome, viewers. We've had a lot going on. Heather, good to see that you have made it as far as your phone after your time playing around at the fort yesterday. And Ken, glad you could join us after having to miss Thursday night. Good to have you back. And welcome to all of the viewers. I am DM Galibar, and this is session 94 of the Walker of Waterdeep, the session in which the players say, we gotta get out of this place. We've been in Kamigawa long enough. Or at least I think that's what they're gonna say. Because it feels like we've been here forever. So let me go turn the music down. Okay, come on. There we go. Turn the music down. And then we'll move over to the hello, Skylin. Welcome to the stream. We'll switch over to our game slate on Roll20. All right, so last time the party finished dealing with the Oni of Chaos, and they tried unsuccessfully to see if they could remove the corruption from Hidetsugu, the heroic ogre that had once been a companion of the general. However, the general himself determined that Hidetsugu was beyond redemption and took it into his own hands to seal Hidetsugu's fate with a slash of his sword across the ogre's throat. And Hidetsugu was no more. Then the party returned to Igon Town and the palace. They spent a little time wandering around in the city and ruminating in their rooms. I think when we ended, you guys were getting back together in the late evening, and we had not yet finished the night, so I think we're still kind of late in the evening, and you guys have opportunity to do that. The last sort of checklist item you have to do here in Kamigawa is get that sludge back to the Aki so they can make the oil, and then you are able to return from Kamigawa. But anything you want to do between now and then is, of course, up to you. So we rejoin our party, I believe, in the kind of dining area of the palace, because Her Majesty and Her Majesty's consort were not in the audience chamber when the party was getting a little peckish and needed something to eat for the evening meal. So you guys can take it away.
Last that I remember, Elora, Inca, and Adamant were together. Galibar and Oyo was already there.
Yes. I think you guys had come in and had the groups had seen each other, so I'll presume that I'll presume that you've seen each other, and you guys can presume that you're all at the same table if you want to, or that hasn't quite happened yet.
If Galibar sees them, he'll wave them over to the table.
Elora yawns a big, huge, muddy yawn as she keeps on stumbling, holding onto Inka's arms, and she kind of pulls down and says, "There, sit me down." She kind of mumbles it as she kind of pushes off of Inka after she gets close. And she sits down next to Oyahusa and just falls over, puts her head on his lap, and just says, "Hello there." She kind of just presses her head and then closes her eyes.
This is at dinner?
Yeah, at the dinner table.
She was casting plant growth for 8 hours.
Oh. How did it go?
She kind of reaches into her bag, kind of like a few things fall out, but then she picks up like a jar full of dirt and she kind of puts it on the table in front of Oyahusa.
Oh.
With one of her arms resting against her cheek, she's trying to keep herself up and awake.
And Adamant came in?
Yes. Adamant came in with them.
Oya looks over at Adamant. My friend, how did the foraging go?
It went well. I was able to help out, and that's all I wanted to do.
What did you build or create?
Nails. Just basic building supplies. Hammers, nails, stuff like that.
We need to have a group meeting later or sometime in the morning.
Well, we're all here now.
No, it has been a long day for some. I think we eat, we relax, we get some sleep.
Is there any pre-ordered food on the table?
No, there's nothing pre-ordered on the table unless somebody else already has ordered food. Then, but somebody will circulate, and seeing more people show up, it won't be long before somebody comes over and asks if there's anything they can bring you from the kitchen and anything you would prefer.
Galibar just has a plate of meat in front of him that he's been eating. You got it here.
Okay, so
She'll look at Galibar's plate and says, "Too much chewing."
Oyahusa reaches over and grabs one of his cherries off of a plate.
Cherry. Who has cherries for dinner? Well, no
Well,
matter what, it's Laura's now. She'll go over and try and reach for it.
what? Get your own food. And he just pops it in his mouth. Kind of grins at you.
Laura gives him a big, huge huff again and says, well, you're the one who told me to eat. So, she opens her mouth and gives her, like, feed me.
He reaches over, grabs the cherry off the plate, and takes aim. Goes for the shot.
Does it land in her mouth, which is the real question.
Okay, so do a do you have any kind of weapons that you would throw, Oyo?
Yeah, darts and
Okay,
daggers.
so just make the same. Just make a dart attack, but you're not actually throwing a dart. You're actually tossing a cherry.
Well, I sure hope he's not throwing a dart in my mouth.
Oh, yeah. Elora, Elora, okay. Make me a Constitution check, Elora. Because that aim was so perfect. Okay. Oyo, your aim is so perfect it goes right into the center of Elora's open mouth, and you see it just sort of glides across the arc of her tongue and hits the back of her throat and starts to go down, and then
Chokered her?
and then Elora, she starts going
Oh no. Oh no! Oh, Yo gets up quickly and gets behind her and like puts his arms around her and starts giving her the Heimlich.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you wind up saving her before
Laura
she
turns around and gives him like a deadly head stare.
Oh, what did I do? You asked for it. And he shakes his head and sits back down. Could have killed you with a cherry.
She shakes her head this time and says, fine, I guess feeding me is dangerous. I'll take one of my own. As this time I can actually chew it and enjoy it.
Technically, since Oyo is a monk, even a cherry can be used as a weapon.
Oh yeah, exactly. Improvised weapon. But I'm not gonna. I'm presuming he's just sort of doing a little toss. He's not like hurling it.
I sure hope so.
You could do 1d4 plus your.
It was just perfect physics. It just.
Yep.
It was the all-in-one. Just oopsies.
And the thing is, you crit on a crit too.
What does Galibar Adamant react when they've seen this happen, or at least catch her choking?
Oyo, please don't kill Elora.
What do you mean? That was not my intent.
I should hope not.
Galibar, I guess, sees it. And it's like he's just like midway chewing on a chicken wing or something, or a chicken leg. Just like he's mid chew. He's like, wow, even a cherry can do some damage for you.
That's funny. And he just kind of laughs at Elora a little bit.
Laura kind of stares at everyone unimpressed. I'm too tired for this. She goes back and lays on the floor next to Oyo's.
And when the next time the servers come out, they kind of look down at the floor at Elora, and they look sort of at the rest of you with a question in their eyes, but they don't say anything. And then
She'll
one of
be
them,
having hers on the floor.
Very well. Then one of them will sort of kneel down next to Elora. My lady, is there anything we can bring you?
Laura kind of opens her eyes and just looks at them and says, "Not a deadly cherry."
Not a deadly cherry. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Was there something wrong with the cherries? Are they? Have they gone sour?
No.
Are they toxic?
Not at all. Open your mouth.
No, you're gonna kill him.
Are you talking to the server, or are you?
Yeah, but I'm talking as so everybody can hear, like it's an inside joke.
And she looks at,
kind of like nudge him a bit, like, "Shut up."
she looks at the rest of you, and to sort of gauge whether this is some kind of joke that your elf is trying to play on the staff.
Galibar will say, he fed her one and she almost choked.
Oh dear. Oh, that's quite horrible. Perhaps my dear, or perhaps my lady would like if we brought her some pudding.
Her ears kind of perk up, and she kind of raises her head from Ozzy's lap and says, "Pudding?"
Yes, we have some chocolate pudding, and we have some vanilla pudding, and we have some pudding with tapioca.
Can you swirl those together?
Oh, of course we can. Yes. Would you like a small bowl or a large bowl?
She looks at the rest of them and says, "Extra large."
An extra large bowl. Yes, my lady. And would you care for anything to drink? Water or wine or ale or tea?
Some tea, please.
Very well. We have some soothing mint tea that will help you get some sleep. We have some, if you need to be up tonight working, we have some breakfast tea that will give you a little bit of energy, or we have a nice relaxing green tea.
We'll shoot a glare at who and say, "Pick for me."
Oh. I don't know what you want.
She'll keep on staring until who at least picks one.
Give her the breakfast tea.
Very well, sir. And very well, my lady. We'll be coming out shortly. And can I bring anything more for the rest of you?
I'm good.
She looks around to the others.
I would like some green tea, please.
Oh, some green tea.
Just shout. Look at her. Who says, "This is tea, I want it."
Okay, I guess I'll have the breakfast tea that I ordered for her, and she can have mine.
Very well, sir. And then she looks to Inca and to Adamant to make sure that neither one of them want anything.
No.
Okay. And hearing nothing from Inca, she will bob a little curtsy to the table and then head back towards the kitchen.
She'll move on.
So all right, a few minutes later, she comes back from the kitchen and she brings the tea, the 2 cups of tea, along with 2 small teapots. So there's a cup of each kind of tea and a small teapot that probably holds enough for another cup or 2. And they set the pot, the cup, and then a little pitcher of cream and a pitcher or in a little bowl of sugar, and a little bowl of honey down at Oyo's place and at Elora's place, and then sets a large bowl of pudding. It's like a large salad bowl that has been filled with pudding, and you can see it has been swirled. And this is no mere just throw pudding in there and stir it around. This is that thing like where you go to the high-end coffee shops and they kind of have the different kinds of foam on there, and they've made like designs in the foam that's on the top of your cup of coffee. And that's sort of what they've done with this pudding. It looks like they've made a stylized design that's sort of an abstraction of the Conda House Conda family crest in the pudding. And so then they have a bowl there, and they set it. She sets it on a table, and then she just sort of looks at the rest of you like, well, if she really wants to eat it on the floor, I'm going to let one of you hand it down to her.
Oyo takes the bowl and sets it down, and he just starts he dips his spoon in there and he starts eating it.
As Elora sees Oyo reach for her pudding and then almost raise it to his mouth, she'll grab a hold of his cheeks and hold his mouth open. As she grabs her own spoon and starts eating the pudding. Saying you're not allowed to eat this.
Okay, so yeah. So Oyo feels kind of like the pet dog that's being forced to take its medicine, with the sort of hands across its jaws, forcing the mouth open. And he's probably doing the same thing that the dog does, trying to get away.
He flicks his spoon and it sends a spoonful flying straight up, and then he just tilts his head, opens his mouth, and catches it that way.
Oh.
Elora kind of looks at Oyo.
He's doing that. If he wants to do that, I'm afraid that's going to be another ranged attack roll.
Okay.
Can I have negative guidance on this for him?
You don't have
like
Bane.
the opposite of guidance.
You have Bane.
If you have Bane, you can put Bane on it.
Shit. I should have. Aww.
Nope. Oyo, you toss it up there, and you kind of do that thing where you sort of let Elora think that she's gonna have it smack you in the face, but then right at the last instant you sort of tilt your head a little bit and into the mouth it goes. And it's quite good. It's a very, very rich chocolate in the chocolate pudding, a very creamy vanilla in the vanilla pudding, and a very tasty tapioca.
The mixture taste.
Yeah. So.
No, sit up and put her bowl on her table, kind of leaning on the table still because she's still exhausted. As she looks over it and just keeps on eating it, just not even thinking about it, but enjoying every single taste of it. She turns to Oyo and says, You're so scruffy now. As it's been a few days since you shaved, and it's probably growing back now. With little stubbles.
Yes, I plan to shave a little bit later. We've been so busy.
Busy. What's next on the list? Besides eating
Want
this
to-
pudding.
Well, I
I'm not
I
sure.
think we should. I think after we have this talk with the now queen and go give the Aki this sludge, we should definitely get out of Kamigawa. We've been here for a very long time.
Yes, we've got to go to Ravnica, and then we can go home for a bit, I would assume. Think you've earned a break.
We also need to visit the slip and slide people. No, the people who give us slip and slides?
You could probably just hand those to Mochi and he'll bring them back.
No. We all have to go.
Why do
Don't
we
ask why, but we do.
Why do we all have to go?
It's a secret. And she kind of puts her finger up to her mouth and says, shh.
You're going to make me do something awkward, aren't you?
Laura kind of looks at Adam with a questioning glare. Like, huh?
Zone of truth.
She's not budging, though. Not yet.
He pats her on the head. Pat.
Hey,
Alright.
Elora, if you tell us why we have to go, I'll let you see my new horse.
Elora's eyes go wide and says, your new horse?
Yes, I have a new horse.
Can I insight check that? See if he actually has a new horse?
Go ahead.
He's muted, but you know what? So I don't
Go
know
ahead,
when
insight it.
Galibar could get a new horse.
Yes, you can insight check. I forgot I was muted.
Wow.
He's not
I'm
lying.
just not-
With a 14, you believe him.
Elora smiles and nods her head and says, yes, I want to see the new horse. I want to see it.
Tell us why we have to go then.
She kind of huffs her mouth a bit and says, well, I made a deal with them and said if they give us more slip and slides, we'll have a slip and slide party with them. And I'd need to make a water slide and things for that, and I felt like everyone else could enjoy a little bit of a break.
Well, I have to admit that does sound kind of fun. I
I'm not
generally
sure-
like athletic things like that.
I'm not exactly too sure that Adamant could even do a slip and slide. He's made out of metal.
I think it would sound pretty horrible.
Lori kind of inches her ear a bit and tries to cover her ears as he makes a sound.
I think possibly we could have some of us go to the Aki to do the sludge thing,
I can
and
go.
then those who don't want to go can go to the slip and slide, and then we can meet up later. Mochi could take you over to the Aki, and we can leave.
It's not a bad plan.
I can
We
go-
do need to get back though. We are on a time crunch here.
Well, yes. I'll go to the Aki, and you go unwind.
Who?
All of you. Go
But you
unwind.
can't go alone.
What? I'm sure Mochi will give me a lift, so to speak.
It's almost like this pudding. And she kind of looks down on her pudding with her spoon and says, "You think I can finish all this by myself?"
Well,
No.
I can't eat pudding, so I wouldn't be much help there anyway.
How about this? I'll go with Adamant, and you and Oyo can go to the party along with Enka whenever. Along with Enka.
I think Oyo needs to unwind as badly as everybody else.
Elora will look right at Husa and says, "Yeah, after you pushed me off." And she kind of sticks out her tongue at him, and she kind of shoves another spoonful of pudding in her face. But
After we're all done eating, I'll go outside and I'll let you see my new horse.
Laura will smile and just pushes her pudding and says, "I'm done." She kind of tries to get up so it falls on her face. And then she's like, "Okay, maybe not right now."
Elora, here, touch this bead.
Laura will look around and it's like, "I don't want to touch your beads."
Fine. Adam is going to hit her with a greater restoration for so not as tired.
That ruins the fun, Adamant.
Okay, so
Fine.
you guys are gonna walk out into the courtyard of the
Yeah. See
palace.
this-
Okay,
See this new
so
horse.
all right, so we are in the courtyard. Let me recenter the map on the courtyard area, which I think we decided is kind of like over here.
Everything is like really blurry for me. I'm not. Is it?
It's just loading.
Yeah, it's still loading. It'll
There we
resolve once it gets fully loaded.
Okay. Galibar will go out into the courtyard. Probably go over. See, he'll go over here, and he'll start doing an incantation. I think it takes. Let me check how much it takes. It takes 10 minutes. He'll do an incantation, and after 10 minutes, a steed appears in front of him. And I'll post a picture in Discord so you get a better look of it.
When it was taking 10 minutes, Laura would have went inside, grabbed her bowl, sat on the ground, and kept on eating while she was waiting for the steed to appear. And as she looks at the steed, her mouth kind of drops and is like, and she goes over to the horse with a bowl of pudding and raises it to it and says, "Want some pudding, boy?"
It's a meat eater.
Laura kind of looks at Galibar and says, "Really?"
Part dragon.
Laura kind of looks upset at her bowl of pudding now. Nope. Oh, she must be switching. Anyhow, but it's so cute. She kind of runs her fingers through what I'm guessing is hair. Around its,
It does have a mane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And scruffs it behind its ears if she can even try and reach.
Now, what are you doing again?
Who?
What?
Who?
You?
Something?
Galibar is showing Elora his new horse.
Gotcha.
It is rather beautiful, Galibar. How did you acquire such a marvelous and, I am assuming, magical steed?
It is a spell I cast to summon it. But with the boon that I received from the dragons, I seem to have been granted also further power when it comes to spellcasting. And this is one of the spells that I know.
Kind of magical creature, is it?
Well, it's a warhorse, but it is draconic in nature.
I see. So it's something of your imagination.
I think it's more the draconic in nature is more linked to what my power actually comes from. But I didn't really imagine what it would look like when I summoned it. I just summoned it.
I see.
I believe Xandri had a steed as well.
Yes, she did. Though hers was a bit less scaly.
Her power didn't come from dragons.
Nonetheless, it is valuable magic for one to possess to always have transportation.
Yeah. It takes a while to cast, but so if I ever need a steed right on the moment, I probably won't be able to get it unless it's already out.
How long does it last you?
Oh, it stays. From what I understand, it just stays until either I dismiss it or it dies.
Very, very cool.
If it dies, I can just resummon it in 10 minutes, but it's formidable for now.
Elora will run up to the side of Galibar with a smile on her face and putting on her lips and says, "Can I go on it? Can I go on it?"
The horse.
And
The
yeah,
horse,
you
the horse.
Galibar, you get a message from the steed. It's like, what is this creature? Kind of giving the side eye to Elora.
Yeah, it has an intelligence of 6, by the way. Because of the spell. Galibar says she is an ally. She is asking if you will allow her to ride on you. Will you allow her to do so?
And the horse sort of turns, and its nostrils flare, and its flanks sort of quiver a little bit, and it says, "She smells of lion."
He said she smells of lion.
Mm-hmm.
Griffin.
She is.
I guess actually we smell of griffin, because the Griffey is the last creature that you had out. So yeah, it would telepathically tell Galibar it smells of griffin, and be there's kind of a question in that's like, she's not gonna attack us, or is she?
No, she is an ally. She is also a druid. She can conjure creatures just like I have summoned you to my side. One of her summons is a griffin.
And it says, telepathically, it says, "Very well, if you believe she is safe." And the horse will sort of now, when you summon a steed, I'm looking at the spell now. It doesn't ever say anything This is really weird. It doesn't ever say anything about whether the steed comes with the saddle and the tack and harness, but that would seem like a really weird and inconvenient thing if they made you carry around a tack and harness for when you summon your steed.
Yeah.
Well, you technically can bareback it.
Yeah,
even though it
yeah.
isn't recommended, you can.
Well, I'm guessing as a druid, you would probably be just about as comfortable bareback riding, an animal as you would be in a saddle. So, all right, yeah, we'll say for now that it doesn't have a steed. If you want to figure out something, Galibar, or if you want to figure out something for how you account for its tack and harness, we can explain that later. But for right now, we'll just say it doesn't have the saddle and harness and everything.
I do plan on getting the magic saddle when we get back
Oh,
to
okay.
water, if I have
Okay.
the money for it. But
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we priced that a long time ago, so it should probably be in our magic item price list. So, yeah. So it will acquiesce since Galibar has vouched for Elora.
As Steed and Galibar were talking, she would just be sitting there staring at Galibar like, what?
No, the talking is telepathic.
Yeah, so she's like, what's going on? Can I not?
Yes,
But after
you
she
can ride-
sees
you
the
can-
horse bow, she'll clap her hands and pass her bowl to Galibar with their spoon inside, and she'll kind of pat the horse's head and say, thank you. As she kind of jumps on the back of it.
Okay.
She's still carrying around the bowl of pudding.
She just made Galibar hold it. If he likes it or not, hold it.
So yeah, you're up on this steed, and I'll say that as a druid with the animal handling, you can fairly easily get it to do what you want within reason. So do you want to have it walk? Do you want to have it trot, gallop? What do you want to do?
Just a little bit of trot around the fountain.
Okay, so it will sort of pick its head up and it will begin trotting, and as it does, it's unmistakably, to Elora's sense of creatures, it's unmistakably has the trot of a well-trained warhorse. So it's this is clearly a mount that is not only capable for transportation, but also would be able to do some things in a fight. Now, it just has all of the standard warhorse mechanical features. Cosmetically, it looks a little bit different, but so it just will do the same kind of attacks and damage and everything that a warhorse will, but Elora can sort of sense that training.
As she gets over to the front of Galibar again after 2 laps around, she'll say, hey, you want to strike a pose for him? Let's strike a pose.
And the horse will sort of, now it can't communicate telepathically with you, but it will kind of perk up its ears and sort of your animal handling would let you know, okay, this is it saying, okay, I've heard you. What kind of pose? What should we do? So it's sort of waiting a little bit more on you to kind of get an idea of what it should do.
Stand on its hind legs and do like those arms up pose.
Okay, so
I don't know how to describe it, but yeah.
So it will rear up on its hind legs and sort of put its paws up there, kind of looking a little bit like if you guys are familiar with the I think it's the old, or maybe it's a stylized flag of England where it has the lion sort of up on its hind legs and the two paws up. So that's kind of the pose that it takes, and it just seems very pleased with itself as it just sort of holds that for a few seconds, and then it just very sort of lightly drops back down to all fours.
And she turned to Galibar and said, "Did you see that? Did you see that?"
Yeah, and you want to see something really cool?
Well, she kind of says, "Thank you for the ride." She passes like his neck a bit, and then she'll get off.
And it sort of does that appreciative little, and and sort of nods its head a little bit.
Galibar is going to get on the back of his steed, and Galibar will say to the steed in their telepathic link, he's like, I'm gonna cast a spell and you'll be able to fly, and I'm trying to show her something cool. So I will cast fly on myself, and thanks to being on the steed, it is also cast on the steed. So I will look at Elora and say, "Watch this," and I'll have the steed just just jump and start flying in the air.
Okay.
Because it gains a 60-foot fly speed.
Elora will look up to it with her eyes like wide and says, "My pudding." And she just watches it in amazement as she watches them dance along the sky. I thought it was cool.
Your griffin is still technically a faster flyer.
Besides the point. And to kind of yell at it by Galibar, "You never told me it was a warhorse."
Some things have to be a surprise. And I'll go back down and land on the ground and end the spell.
Okay.
Pat the horse on the side of its head and hand her the bowl of pudding.
Okay.
It's wonderfully trained.
Does it have a name?
I'll look at the steed because it is technically a spirit in the form of a warhorse, and I'll say, "Do you have a name?"
Does it have a name? Okay, let's take a look. Here we go. It comes back with the name that pops into your head is that.
Okay. Well, Galibar says his name is Akasha.
And does Akasha come every time, or is it a different spirit?
It's the same one, from what I understand.
I am
I'll
impressed.
go over and pet it still.
And the steed or Akasha will accept Elora's petting and do that sort of happy little.
Well, I sure hope
again.
so. she'll turn to Galibar and say, I kind of feel bad. I can't feed it. Akasha, I can't feed him.
Galibar will pass you one of his rations to feed Akasha.
Laura will look at her bowl and say, 1 second. She runs inside, puts her bowl in front of Inca and says, protect this with your life. Dun, dun, dun. She kind of runs back
Kind of
out.
looks up from her writing and kind of goes, okay.
Blame Adamant for the burst of energy she has. Okay? Keep that in mind.
Galibar hands you the jerky.
Laura will go up to this Akasha and say, here you go. A treat. Say thank you.
And the horse will do that sort of thing where it sniffs at it, and then it sort of its lips will sort of part, and as its lips part, you notice that unlike a normal horse that has flat teeth good for grinding grains and grasses and things like that, this one has sharper teeth that are more reminiscent of a predator like a dragon, for rending and tearing flesh. And so it does that. Otherwise it does that thing kind of like a horse where the lips sort of almost articulate out and grab a hold of the jerky and pull it out of your hand as it begins to sort of chew on it and noisily crunch, 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 crunch. Actually, I was thinking of a carrot, so they probably wouldn't. Jerky is just chop, 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 chop.
Laura's eyes will go a little bit wide as she turns over to Galibar and says, have you seen the amazing teeth on her?
It's and it's a meat eater, as I said.
And it's ER, like not her, but yes. But she'll kind of just smile and say, well, even that beside, very healthy. She kind of still smiles and pets the cheek of him, but I feel like we should go inside to the others now. They probably miss us a little bit too much.
Okay, Galibar will pet Akasha for a little bit and say, I will summon you back tomorrow. And he'll send Akasha back to his little pocket dimension.
Okay, and Akasha says, good friend, good ally. And then it sort of winks out of existence as it goes back to its little dimension from whence it came. And then the rest of you are heading.
Worried about Elora.
And the rest of you are headed back inside. Oh. Elora, when you get inside, you find there's now an empty bowl sitting in front of Inca.
What? Who ate my pudding? She looks over at who's the Inca and everyone else and sees who ate her pudding. I'm guessing that's going to be another insight check.
Well, you put the bowl in front of Inca. It is still sitting in front of Inca, but now the bowl is empty. Inca, make a stealth check. Okay. Yes, and there is no sign of any kind of pudding around Inca's lips or on the fur of her face or anything like that. So the The bowl is just sitting there in front of her, but now it's an empty bowl.
Licked clean.
Licked clean.
Laura will look over at Inca and then at Oyuhusa, knowing that those two probably worked together to eat her pudding, because Oyuhusa had one taste and probably couldn't get enough. But Inca probably got jealous and ate some. So she'll look at both of you and say, you know what? You guys are both grounded. As she kind of huffs and crosses her arms and then walks out to her room.
Well, you told me to keep it safe.
From me!
You
What's-
didn't
Kinda
specify
yells
that.
back.
Oh, what is she talking about? As Elio kind of leans over.
Just
To
sit
who?
outside in the hallway and just wait for one of them to apologize.
And I still call out to her. Well, you did say to keep it safe. And there's no better place than, well, you know, eating it.
Laura will give Inca a taste of her own medicine and say, la 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 in the hallway. I can't hear you. La, la, la.
Wow. And then I look over at Oyahus and I grin.
Are you
That'll
being
be-
naughty?
That little teacher to put something like that in front of me.
Indeed.
All right, so inside we have, at this point, we have Galibar, Adamant, Oyo, and Inca in the dining area. Elora is sort of out in the hallway beyond the dining area. Are you guys going to sort of head back to your rooms for now?
We're done. We've debriefed and all that other stuff, right? And then
You all have talked with each other. I guess actually what would happen at this point is about this time somebody would come and tell you that Her Majesty and her consort are going to the audience chamber to get some of the evening reports. And so if you all wanted to share anything with them, you could do so over the next probably hour or so before they turn in for the night.
Galibar would probably want to go over all the information with them.
Okay. All right.
I think
So who all wants to go address?
Oyahusa will go just as a probably formality, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go too.
Okay. Inca, Elora.
Inca will finally get up and push in her chair and put her notebook away in her bag of all holding, and then we'll walk over and pick up Elora. Come on, I'm sorry.
Elora said she would come in the Discord, so.
Laura will
Okay.
smile as she gets like the free rides. It's okay. Forgive it.
And then I sling her over my shoulder. Because I can do that. She doesn't weigh hardly anything.
Laura probably just crawl herself up to
She-
a piggyback ride.
She weighs hardly nothing plus a large bowl of pudding weight.
Hey, I'm a cow. God damn it. I
I'll
like
go.
sweet things.
Well,
Oh,
if anyone needs me, I'll be in this briefing, and then I plan to retire and relax for the rest of the evening.
oh, I think everybody's going to the briefing.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So you all head into the audience chamber, and the queen and her consort are there, along with the general is there. And you all get announced as you come in, and they look up, and it seems that the queen and Coyote and the general have apparently talked, because now the queen addresses or is looking at you more with a sense of understanding, and her eyes seek out Elora, and looks at Elora and just gives a little smile to Elora, as though she's kind of heard from the general what happened that might have upset you.
Laura will still stay kind of close to Inga, just
I
for
kinda-
protection.
I kind of nudge Elora, like, go apologize.
I already did.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
She'll kind of give a little bow to the queen and Coyote just in case. But she'll still kind of stay behind everyone else.
Galibar will do the warriors kneel and then stand up and say, "We have come to give you a full report about what happened in the fight and what happened after. When we got there, the Oni seemed to have controlled some bandits that were near that were working for the ogre, and had put these little blood magic signs on their head, and he seemed to be able to sacrifice them at will to try to control people at the very least. Thankfully, he was only able to use 2 of them before we had stopped him. From what we understand, if we had even arrived a day later, he could have possibly been a lot stronger. Though the leftover bandits that had not been sacrificed, we managed to get them out of his control, got rid of the runes, and most of them, at the very least, have decided to join up with the troops, the soldiers that are. Then they're trying to make a better life for themselves now that the war is over. The Oni of Chaos is no more, or at least is no more on this plane of existence. We tried to convince the ogre to come to his senses and join the side of good again, but sadly he could not be convinced, so he had to be taken care of by the general. It seems that the troubles that have been plaguing this plane are, at least the larger ones, are no longer going to be troubling you from here on out.
And Her Majesty nods gravely and says, Lord Galibar, Lord and Lady Heroes, we in Kamigawa are in your debt. We did hear some of the report from the general, and I believe you have some further information on the status of those bandits that were rescued. And the general nods and turns to you all and says, yes, indeed. Out of the 8 bandits that were rescued, 6 of them have indeed reported to Zhang and have asked to be given the most menial stations as raw recruits, and have asked to be allowed to work their way back into the respect of the unit. And Zhang, after consulting with the other officers, has acquiesced. Two of them insisted that the crimes that they committed while they are bandits cannot be so easily forgotten, and they have asked to, or they have turned themselves in for trial and punishment. I believe that they will face no harsher sentence than some stiff labor, but that will depend upon the testimony of witnesses against them and the desires of any who have been hurt by their actions. But as for the commanders under me, they believe that this shows that they are willing to make a full and complete turn from their past life. As for the Oni of Chaos, I believe you are right to say that he has only been banished from this plane, and only while, may the gods grant it lasts for many, many years to come now, while the veil separating the spirit world and the mortal world is kept guarded by Her Majesty and her consort as its guardians. I don't believe the Oni of Chaos will be able to return so easily. It is a sad and horrible thing that Hidetsugu had thrown his lot in, and as these heroes were there to witness, willingly thrown his lot in with an entity that would so quickly and easily sacrifice the souls of others for the mere power it would give them. I think likely that even had we been able to capture Hidetsugu alive and bring him for trial, I think ultimately there would have been no hope in saving him. And the queen looks at him and smiles sadly and says, I know that his death will trouble you for some time, General, but be aware that all of Kamigawa is grateful for the actions you took to spare others from the ravings of someone who has lost their way. And the general sort of bows his head. And then the queen and Coyote, they look back at the rest of you and they say, will you be leaving us in the morning, or will you be staying for more time in the capital city?
I believe it would probably be best if we got done what needed done, and then we leave. We are kind of on a time crunch here. We have no idea how much time we have left to complete our mission. So I believe in the morning, some of us will be going to the Aki to finish this part of the mission, and then some of us are going to be going to the college to do something.
And she nods and she says, very well. I look forward to seeing the ambassadors that will be coming from your world of Toril. We will give them all the honors that we would to distinguished guests, and we look forward to any diplomatic relations that we may be able to open with your world and others where you may travel. Please go with our blessings and our thanks.
Indeed.
Might we, on my Majesty's request, of course, but in our worlds, in Ravnica, will be a great boon to your economy. Do you wish to trade in any particular natural resources from Kamigawa?
And she will look to you, and she will acknowledge you, and she'll say, I do believe that trade will be part of the agenda that we will discuss with the diplomat who arrive from Toril and from Ravnica. We will find out what they have to offer, what their needs are, and we will discuss with them how we may best benefit each other. And you all can give y'all can make anyone who wants to can make insight checks if you wish.
Always.
Oops. I'm too full of pudding. I'm
So what
going
do you
into a
get for
food
eating my
coma.
pudding? My pudding.
Okay. If anybody has been rolling, I'm not seeing it. I'm going to refresh my Roll20. See if anything comes through. Oh, yeah. On the other computer, I can see that everybody has rolled insight, but on the DM screen, I'm not seeing that. Okay, so let me take a look here. Adamant and Oyo and Elora. What you can tell from your insight checks is that Her Majesty is playing a bit of a diplomatic dance. She does not want to tip her hand to someone that may be able to go back and tell trade representatives from your world what their opening offer is. She kind of wants to wait and hear from the people that come specifically to talk about trade, what their interests are, and then sort of try to operate from a position of having more information from them than she has given to them.
Of course.
So it's sort of that kind of thing. I think I'm going to have to exit Roll20 and then launch Roll20 again, because it was just freezing up on me on this one computer. So, whoops, I'm going to jump back into it. All right. Okay, there we go. So basically, Oyo, you get a non-answer to your question. You get a diplomatic non-answer to your question.
He reads in between the lines.
Yeah.
Well, nonetheless, Your Majesty, I shall put in a good word for you, for I know many contacts throughout multiple trade sectors.
And she says, we appreciate all the goodwill that we can receive from heroes such as yourselves.
We should probably send a few of the dwarves of the Temple of Moradin to get their get stuff fixed up faster and help them make better weapons.
There's just a ever so slight smile from Her Majesty and Coyote.
Yeah, that comment was pointed towards Adamant.
Yeah.
Repeat it for me.
We could probably send some of the dwarves from the Temple of Moradin here
Oh,
to
yes,
fix things up and
I've
and
already
make better armor
contacted.
weapons.
I've already done sendings for setting up trade negotiations between Queen and our people and the Aki.
Okay.
All right. They look expectantly, and they don't want to hold you here any longer than you want to be held, but they don't want to, dismiss you and make you feel like you're being kicked out either. So they'll sort of read the room, and when it seems like there's no more questions, they will sort of give you leave to depart and go with their blessing.
Galibar will bow and say, "It was lovely staying in your home if we do not see each other in the morning before we depart."
And Her Majesty and Coyote, they both they acknowledge your bow, and the general does sort of a very formal. He turns towards you very crisply, and he sort of gives all of you this bow that is almost as deep as he would give the throne, but not quite as deep. So it's a just sort of this very respectful gesture on his part. And he says, "Go with my thanks and my blessings, friends."
Yes. Hopefully, if we ever meet again, it will not be on such dire terms.
That is my hope. And as you all get ready to leave, Coyote will say, "I will, at the risk of speaking for my wife, I will say that all of you are welcome to return here to Kamigawa to visit at any time. We would enjoy having you as guests again, if your travels bring you this way."
If or when, I should say, we finish with our primary mission, I might take you up on that offer. I'm sure my mother would probably love to see this place.
Oh, it would be a pleasure to host your mother in our humble home.
Well, I bid you guys a good night, and he'll leave.
You have been most gracious, and I must say that it has been an honor. He bows, and Oyo just retires for the evening.
Okay.
Laura stands there for a moment, doesn't know what to say. She gives him a curtsy and says, "Thank you for everything. I'll definitely be back to dye your hair." And she kind of gives him a wink and then runs out the door.
And the two of them, they look at each other and they smile and they nod at you. And they still have their little twin silver streaks in their hair.
Did anybody tell them about Elora's healing of the land?
I don't
No.
think so.
Okay.
No.
Elora and Enka are the only people who fully know about that.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think the rest of the party has even heard about that yet.
Okay.
Nope.
They saw Elora's jar of dirt and they kind of did this. Okay, what's the jar of dirt about? And
Well,
then she went straight into pudding.
Okay.
Inka did say that she did heal the land, or someone did, or Adamant. I don't know, but someone did
Anyway.
say that she did do an
I
8-hour
said it.
casting.
I said it out of character
Oh, okay.
because Oyohusa was confused.
Okay, makes sense.
Wait, I was
But yeah,
confused.
I guess.
What?
I guess
Sorry,
Adam
you're like-
and only Inka know then.
You were
Okay.
confused why she was tired when it was
Dinner time.
Okay, so I guess
so who else
Inca
is
is
in
not.
the room?
It looks like Galibar and Oyo and Elora have already left, so I'm presuming it's just Adamant and Inca at this
Okay.
point.
Mm-hmm. About right.
Okay. Inca seems
Ah.
to kind of be holding back a little bit.
What's on your mind, Inka?
No, she just kind of shakes her head like nothing.
Not tired?
Well, we're still in the throne room.
Ah.
Yeah.
True.
Was waiting for you to
And
leave.
let me see what this is. This is going to be a.
she's waiting for Adamant to leave so she can talk to the royalty.
Ah. Yes, I caught that now.
Okay, and kind of as the two of you are there doing the who's gonna blink first shuffle, Coyote sort of raises an eyebrow and says, Lady Inca, is there something on your mind?
I was just simply going to tell you of Elora and Adamant's day, and she kind of looks over at Adamant like, you didn't leave, so you're now included in it.
And they say, oh?
And
Was it touching?
Elora will give a slight bow, kind of give a side eye to Adamant, and then
Elora will give a little bow.
what did I say?
You said Elora.
Sorry, guys. Inca will give a little bow and a side eye to Adamant, and then look back at the queen and her consort and go, this fine gentleman over here happened to have spent all day in the forge helping others repair and fix things and doing whatever needs to be done in that area to help your people begin healing and putting their lives back together. While Elora, on the other hand, Laura, out of character, how big of a patch of ground did you do?
A big one. 1 second.
It's a half-mile radius, so a mile in a mile in diameter. It's kind of a circular area of about a mile.
Okay. And while Elora went out into a field, and out of character, Engel will give a description of said area,
Okay.
location, etc., and say she proceeded to use her powers to heal the land in basically a 1 mile circle from where it's half a mile either side of her, but all the way around. So a 1 mile across circular patch of ground to help put the fields back to rights, the correct nutrients, the encourage the plants to whatever's left to grow, and then for a better harvest, as well as prepping things for spring next year. That is why she is so exhausted.
And the general, he's sort of, his eyes sort of go a little bit wide, and the queen and Coyote, they both mask it a little bit better, but you can tell they're both surprised and pleased to hear, and they look at Adamant and they say, Lord Adamant, you truly have done more than we could ask. And please, Lady Inca, give our thanks to Lady Elora, and make sure that she does not leave the palace without a thorough inspection of her quarters.
Okay.
And they just sort of give a little smile to each other.
And about this time, Inca's like, oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. So she gives a slight bow and says it was a great honor to work and to fight beside you and for you.
And the general stands up and looks at Inca and gives her a little, military salute and says, I doubt that I will ever see a group of warriors so capable again. It truly was a blessing to see the handiwork that you all have wrought here. I'm sure that the stories of your time with us will echo down through the ages, the history of Kamigawa.
She gives a slight nod and then again gives each one of them a bow and then backs out of the room.
Okay.
Inca, you forgot about your work that you did for them too. We're so busy favoriting everyone else.
I am not the type of bard to sing of my praises. I sing of other people's praises.
Fair.
All right. So, you all head back to the guest quarters. It sounded like Galibar was going to retire. Oyahusa was going to retire. Adamant, you're heading to the guest quarters, I take it?
Yeah.
Okay. Inca, Elora, what about the two of you?
Go ahead.
Laura would have been heading to her room until she realized she doesn't have a jar of dirt on her. She passed Oyahusa. So she'll run down the hallway, knock on Oyahusa's door, and keep on knocking until he answers.
Okay. Oyo, you are in your room. You're ready for a little bit of meditation, peace, and quiet, and then knock, 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 knock. Knock, 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 knock. Knock 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 knock.
I can't get any damn peace around here. He like walks up to the door and opens it.
And she'll continue to knock and then say, "Oh," and then she'll start knocking and say, "Jar of Dirt, do you still have it? I'm missing it. I don't know where it is."
I never took it. It's on the table in the dining hall.
Laura kind of like puts her hands on her hips and says, "Well, that was a nice present, now wasn't it?" And she kind of sticks out her tongue and then runs.
I thought that
Down the
you were
hall.
just showing it to me. He kind of like yells down the hall. He shakes his head and closes the door, goes back to meditating.
Okay. Elora, you get to the dining hall. The jar of dirt is still there. It hasn't been disturbed. One of the attendants sees you come in, and it's that thing where it looks like they're about to say something to you, and then they notice you're running over to that, and they sort of smile, like, "Okay, yeah, she remembered." And then they
And I'm
just
guessing she'll pass Inko on the way and kind of give her a big, huge wave, and then she'll run up to her and says, "I got it!
And she's, you know how a mother or something like that will basically look down at her kid when there's like all excited and go, that's great. Not having a clue what the child is excited about.
well, you can tell she's carrying her jar of dirt again.
Well,
Oh.
but again, no idea
Yeah.
that she even had left it somewhere. So,
Oh, okay.
so she's like, "Oh, that's great. Well, you need to go to bed."
Just kind of hop and say, "Fine, let's go."
Fine. Go
Okay.
on. Make
All
sure
right,
you
so
don't leave anything behind in your room. So you better do a thorough search tomorrow.
Okay? And she kind of is confused, but then she'll go over and inspect her whole room to make sure that she doesn't have anything left on the ground.
Okay. When you get to your room and you inspect everything, you find that everything is in order and there's nothing unexpected. And as we've established before, each of you has a suite. So you go in and there's a kind of a sitting room area, and there's kind of a walk-in closet over there, and then there's a one doorway that leads off, or it's not really a doorway. It's sort of an open access to sort of a private kitchen area over there, where guests could prepare meals if they wanted to here. Then there's a little doorway over there that leads to what amounts to a guest commode within the suite. Then another doorway that goes into the master bedroom for the suite, and then off of the bedroom, there's yet a private bathroom that has a tub / shower, as well as commode, and then sinks and everything like that. So that's all in there. And as you go in, there's nothing unexpected when you turn in. So would each of you be staying in your own quarters or this evening? I'm guessing.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
planning on it.
Okay.
That was my plan as well.
Okay. So then the night passes, and let me just make a quick check on something. Right, come on, journal. Gosh, what is wrong with you? Thursday night I was having all kinds of issues with Roll20, and it feels like it's happening again today. I don't know what's going on. It's like Roll20 just doesn't like me for all of a sudden. I'll do this. I'm going to do this. And there we go. Need to look at the character sheet. Oh, come on, hurry up and load. There we go. Ooh, yeah. Very, very good. Okay, so. All right. So in the morning, you guys wake up, or you finish your meditation, or you finish your recharging, depending on your associated race. And you get ready to go. And Elora, when you step out of your bedroom after you have bathed and gotten ready in the morning, when you step out of your bedroom into the sort of sitting room that's part of your guest suite, you look over and you notice that the door to the walk-in closet is slid open. And where it was empty before, you now see no less than 8 different very elegant robes and dresses, kind of in the style that you all saw when you first met the princess in her chambers. And you guys were kind of really amazed at all of the fancy clothes and everything. There's like 8 of those dresses and robes in all different colors that are seemingly perfectly sized for Elora. And so now you have an expanded wardrobe.
She'll look at all these dresses and be in amazement as she keeps on looking at every single one. And like all of them are different colors and different lengths and everything.
Yeah, different colors, different styles. I'll leave it up to you to figure out over time what each one of them looks like, so that you can do that. But this sort of, if you recall that those fancy kinds of dresses that were on those little mannequin type of things in that one area, you can use those as kind of inspiration for what they look like. So they're very, very oriental patterns and colors and things like that. And of course, all in the finest silks. And
Laura gets a little bit teary-eyed. She looks at all of them and says, I can't accept this, but it's beautiful. So I have to. She kind of talks to herself and kind of smiles and hugs them, and then worries that she's going to wrinkle them, and she kind of brushes them out.
And you notice something. You find yourself hugging them with kind of a little, crush of hugging, and then you get worried and you step back and you see that there's not the sort of brilliant effect that your favorite dress that Galibar got for you back in Ravnica. It doesn't have that kind of little pop and sparkle, but you notice that there's some sort of minor magical effect on these that prevents them from holding any wrinkles.
Elora kind of giggles more, and then she'll like, okay, but I'll still fold them neatly. And she kind of starts sitting on the floor, folding them so neatly and putting them into her bag of holding.
Okay.
Either way.
All right. All right. So then the rest of you get up, and Adamant, as you come out into the sitting room where you are, you notice that there is a metallic chest that is sitting there on one of the tables, and the metallic chest has this stylized design that has the crest of House Conda on it,
Interesting.
and it's a chest that's I would say maybe 24 inches wide and about 18 inches front to back, and then it's about 16 inches tall to the lip, and then it has like one of those barrel tops with a latch in the front that's hinged. You open it up, and it opens up from the front.
Well, you will open it.
You open it, and you see in there it is in fact a very exquisite set of artisans' smith's tools. These are they are functional from the standpoint of appearing rugged and sturdy, and they would stand up to a lot of use, but they also have an elegance that you would say, oh, these would be the kind of tools that you would find in the workshop of somebody that works in a palace. It's like
Right.
it's like these are like the master craftsmen of the palace would have a set of tools that are designed like this. And the inside of the toolbox is all lined in velvet and whatnot. So it's kind of heavy, but it's not so heavy that Adamant can't lift it.
Well, he will close it, kind of nod, and pick it up and gently put it into his bag.
Okay. Yep.
He's going to put it down at the bottom after a little shifting around. And pick up his bag and head out to meet the others.
Okay. All right. And go ahead.
I was just going to say, I basically got up early and got all my stuff together, and then was going to head downstairs and have a quick breakfast before we get ready to leave.
Okay. Galibar and Oyo, what about you guys?
Oyo's already in the dining hall.
Okay.
Finishing his breakfast.
Galibar gets up pretty early, so yeah, he's probably the same.
Okay, so I'll probably say that with the 4 hour meditation, Oyo probably gets down to the dining hall maybe before the others. He might have even had time, if it would be his custom here, to go out into the courtyard and do some of his morning moving meditations, practice some of his forms and whatnot.
Absolutely, he wanted
in the morning.
Spend some time in the amongst the cherry blossoms one last time.
Okay. And then he probably is walking into the dining hall from that about the same time that early risers, Inca and Galibar would be getting down there. So the three of you can either sit at separate tables or sit at the same table and have your breakfast.
Laura's probably the last one always at the table.
But
She
yeah,
wants
Elora
sleeping
is.
with
Yeah, Elora has stuff to pack up this morning.
it. Yeah. 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
So I will, if Oyahusa wants to go out and look at cherry blossoms first.
I think he's probably already been.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Galibar's done eating. He will. He's not wearing the winged boots anymore. He's wearing his normal boots because he can cast fly on himself.
Okay.
He's gonna walk over to Oyo first. He's like, would you have use of these? I don't necessarily need them anymore.
What is it?
The winged boots.
Galibar, I still am wearing my pair. And he kind of like shows you his boots.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot you had them too. Sorry about that.
No worries. They are a wonderful magical item.
Okay. Then he'll go over to I guess Inca.
Why are you
he
laughing?
I'm
You
laughing
just
at my
envision, cows flying through the air. What?
No, I laughed
He
at
forgot
myself
that Oyo had
forgetting.
his own.
Yeah, he'll go over to Inca and say, "Would you happen to have use of these? I'm not sure how many magic items you have, or if you have another way of flying."
I have no way of flying, and as far as my magic items, I carry a lute. But I don't use it often, so I really don't have any magical items.
Would you like these?
What are they?
They're winged boots. You use a bonus action to turn them on, and for up to 4 hours a day, I believe, you can fly.
Oh.
I have a
Well-
way of flying. Oyo has his own winged boots, and Elora has her griffin. So,
Well, what about Adamant?
I was asking you first because Adamant tends to be a melee fighter.
Okay, well, sure, I'd be more than happy to take them.
Okay. He'll hand you the winged boots.
Okay.
Now let's see if his big feet match your big feet.
Oh, ha ha.
Fit to the wearer.
Okay, you'll have to point out where I can get the info on those.
Yeah.
I'll
I
post
believe.
the-
Yeah, and I believe in the 5e character sheet. I believe if you go to the equipment tab and you want to add equipment, you can start typing in wing, and it will. I think it'll come up with the winged boots in there. I'm not
I'll
sure
post
if it.
in.
Yeah, if it doesn't, we can give you all the stats.
Oh, Adamant already posted it.
Oh,
Okay.
there it is.
All
Got it.
All right. So,
So I'll take off my other coverings and put them on.
and as you put them on, you look at them and you realize, oh wow, these look like they're sized for a half orc, a large half orc like Galibar. But then, it's not a terrible surprise to you being a bard and knowing all kinds of tales about magic items, that even as you are lacing them up, they sort of morph and change form and shape, and they fit snugly on your basically up your calves, so that
He kind of
when
like,
you have
"Whoa, that's a new sensation."
yes.
Wow.
So you now have these because they are magical and they will conform to the wearer.
You need to attune to them for them to actually let you fly. But
Yeah.
Force you to fly. Oh, sorry.
We can fly. We can fly. We can fly.
Yes.
the only person in the party that can't fly right now is Adamant.
Yes. And we
Poor
will.
Adamant.
Working on it. Still making plans for jet boots.
Hey, Iron Man.
We will go and we will commission a new version of a song from Misters Gilmore and Mason and Waters to talk about cows on the wing.
Ah! Ah! Oh.
Next thing you know, it's going to be chickens and choppers.
Oh, god damn, guys. My brain just went there. Watching chickens struggle to haul around chucks.
All right. So, there was a couple of different destinations that people were thinking about going to, and we've. Go ahead.
Pretty much have lunch or breakfast.
Adamant was going to go to Diaki. And don't know exactly who it was decided is going with.
Galibar is going with you.
Okay.
And then Elora wanted to go to the academy. And I know she was trying to talk Oyo into going with her. And Inka, would you be going with them, or
Probably.
would you be doing? Okay, all right.
Can't leave them to roam the halls alone.
Okay, yeah, no telling what kind of mischief they'll get into.
Yeah.
They might start choking other people with cherries, thinking it's great sport. Okay, so now, I think before we do that, it's almost the top of the hour, so I think we'll go ahead and take our break. I have 55 after, so I'm going to go ahead and put us on break for about 10 minutes. We'll come back at about 5 after, and we will finish up with the Aki and the Academy, and then figure out how we are getting everybody together to get out of here at that point.
It's like the plan.
So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and mute and set the timer, and then I'll be back.
Sorry, what just happened though?
What do you mean?
Are we just eating right now, or what happened?
Yes.
Okay. No, because my cat started crying, not meowing, like actually crying. So I had to run to see if she's okay. No, she just got really upset. My mom was in the kitchen and didn't feed her treats. So she pretended like she was hurt to get my attention so my mom would feed her treats.
Sounds like a cat thing to do.
Hi, Gypsy. You good?
I had one get stuck in my finger today.
What?
A
You
cat.
treat? Oh. Ooh.
It was It was a little unpleasant.
Yeah, I would think so.
He didn't mean to. He was just trying to get to the window. He took the wrong route. Claw got stuck in my finger. So.
Hopefully he's okay.
Oh, he's fine. He didn't even give it a second thought. He just yanked it. He just yanked it out and kept going. He's a damn Batman. That's how he rolls.
You have to admit that's kind of cute, though. It hurts like a hard one, but
I thought it had stopped bleeding, so I put the liquid skin on it. And it had it was still bleeding. I was like, son of a bitch.
I don't know. The liquid skin?
It's a liquid Band-Aid.
Oh.
And you put it on there and it dries. It's flexible and it's an antiseptic.
That actually seems pretty damn cool. Never heard of a liquid Band-Aid.
It stings like a mother.
Then why not get normal Band-Aid?
I have a water retention. Band-Aids can cause you troubles.
Oh. I don't know what that means, but okay. I'm sorry. Still am here. For the protection of you, I shall get the scratches of the cats and you shall be good.
I get the bad ones on my stomach at night when I'm trying to sleep.
Oof. I know Gypsy loves to attack my hands and my feet whenever I'm sleeping, but...
No, it's more like I'm going to use Grandpa as a trampoline. Boing. Ow. I will sleep.
Most of the time whenever I'm sleeping, the worst she does is bat at my face if I move around and I kick her too much. She'll like bat me on my nose. I'm like, what? And then she'll curl up on my chest and fall asleep. So.
One of our smaller cats will
Hi.
lay on my chest at night, and he'll sometimes he'll just put his paw on my lips, like shh.
Stop your snoring. I'm trying to get some beauty sleep here.
90% of the time he's being a dick.
Aw. Well, that's not so fun.
And then we got the one that sleeps on my wife.
Beside.
On, beside.
Same difference.
For the first time in a long time, Galibar has a freed up attunement slot.
She's a cuddly little girl.
For now.
I think No. The magic item took my last one.
Yeah, I don't have any slots. Because I've got... Let's see.
I would love to get a Cloak of Displacement for Galibar, but that costs a lot of money that he does not have.
And you aren't getting Elora's. Because I really need that.
Galibar currently only has 272 gold.
I've got the Ring of Free Action, I've got the Sun Forger, and the Necklace of Prayer Beads that are all attuned.
1,370.
Galibar is going to be trying to, when he gets back to Waterdeep, he's going to try to sell the Belt of Dwarven Kind and his +2 Adamantine Great Axe.
But I thought he never gave up his axes.
He needs money, and he has a new axe now. The item, the weapon he's never going to sell is the +1 greatsword his mother gave him.
Okay.
When Oyahusa gets to Waterdeep, he's gonna try to sell Tatsumata.
Tatsumata would kill you if you tried to sell him. He will self-destruct and give.
What'd you say, Chris?
If you try to sell him, he's going to self-destruct and take you with him.
I think I'm not positive. I think it's a her.
I don't know. Either way, your item
Or
petty.
it. Whatever you want to say.
Your sword is kind of petty.
Petty. Tom
Not
Petty.
everybody's gonna get a cheerful one, you know.
Yeah. It can be from time to time petty and give you a heartbreak. Or bad joke.
Bad joke.
Yeah, it was a miserable attempt to try to make a Tom Petty joke, but it didn't work out.
No, it didn't. I don't want to push my luck too hard. I have gotten smacked a couple of times. I got whacked with a shoe.
You got whacked with a shoe.
Yeah, I made one so bad today. She picked up her shoe from under my chair and smacked me in the back with it a couple of times. Not hard, just kind of whack.
I've had such bad luck this week, guys. Yesterday, I was gonna bet on 1 or 2 horses for the Kentucky Derby, and I bet it was between number 8 and number 17, and I bet on 17. Guess who won the race?
8.
Number 8.
That's right.
So you should always go with number 8 because 8 is my lucky number and I'm lucky. Not really. I have horrid luck. But
Gave him my new assignment.
Huh?
Gave him my new assignment.
All right.
As I'm called for.
Before we come back from break, I guess what are we doing? We're doing a.
So
Party?
you guys, 2 of you are going to the Aki, 3 of
Yep.
you are going to the Academy, and then you all will ostensibly after that be meeting up to leave Kamigawa.
Yep.
Unless you can think of anything else you need to do here before you go.
No, I got nothing.
Okay.
I think we've covered it.
All right. We still have a minute on break.
Yeah.
So I will let everybody continue.
Who's going?
Chat, thank you guys for hanging out with us today.
Who's all going to this academy? That's slip and slide thing, right?
You, Anka, and Elora.
Okay.
DM, did you see what I sent you in the GMs?
Oh, okay. I'm glad you mentioned something. I see that several people have sent me. Oh, okay. All right. One thing there, and then. Oh, okay. All right. All right. That's fine. Thank you, Chris. And thank you, other player, for your message. I will keep my ears open. All right. So, signs that the world is getting back to normal. I have a couple of them from this week. Number 1, I went shopping on Wednesday. Went to the grocery store on Wednesday. And for the first time since March of last year, walking into the supermarket at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, there were cans of Lysol on the shelves. That has been, now I'm not sure how it is in Canada, but here in the US, that has been the last sign of things coming back to normal, is that you can actually buy Lysol in the stores. It's just been cleaned out every time you go, unless you go to the right place, like within the first 15 minutes after they unload the trucks. It's all just gone. Then Friday night, one of my friends is celebrating a 50th birthday this weekend, and Friday night is the first time since Saturday the 14th of March 2020 that I actually went and sat down and ate a meal at a restaurant. We were eating outside, but I have not eaten at a restaurant in over a year. So
Yeah, no, sadly, thanks to the government over here, they got a lot more immigrants to do jobs and stuff, and they didn't get tested or quarantined or anything whenever they
Nice.
first came over. So we're in shut down again.
oh no.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh no.
But all being said, it's been really good in the long run that we haven't had a lot of cases until, well, now, because of the government's stupid way of doing it. Yeah, I think about 100 people in like a week, no, in like 3 days got COVID. And yeah,
Wow.
that's a lot of fun.
Now, is that just in your
Just in Halifax,
province? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
just in Halifax. Okay.
Nova Scotia.
So, all right. Well, I'll go ahead and pull us back to the map now. And I believe I have the... Yep, the sound is off. Okay, good. All right, music is off. Very well. So let's go over to our slate here. And let's start with Galibar and Adamant. So you guys are going to visit the Aki, and how do you all propose to get there?
If Mochi's still there, I would
Oh.
ask for a lift.
Yes, Mochi has been in the has been in and out of the palace kitchens for the last day or two, and you're wondering whether they're going to be running out of powdered sugar and flour if he stays there much longer. But he finds out what you all are up to, and he says, "Oh yes, I can take you to the fortress of the Aki, and then I will come back and I will take the others to the academy. And then when you all are finished at the academy, I will take you back to the Aki, if you are ready to leave Kamigawa." And so he will gather you and Galibar together, and then he will look over at Elora and say, "Before I return, make sure you have your ginger root." And he will bamf you all over to the fortress. And as you get over there, you of course encounter you see the Duke and some of the Duke's men, and they're very happy to see you. Oh, hello, friends. How are you doing?
Doing well. He pulls out the sludge.
Oh, you got the sludge. Well, tell me, was it like 2 or 3 days ago that you got all the nonsense with the Kami War figured out?
Indeed.
Yeah, because we were in there trying to, yet still trying to figure out what was ailing the machines, and suddenly there was just sort of this little ripple that ran through everything, and it looked like they ought to work again. And we turned them on, and sure enough, they started working just like normal.
Excellent.
So must have been like we were speculating something, but we still don't know exactly what the mechanism was. It's kind of a shame that we didn't have a chance to do that, but I'm not gonna argue with it. It's working now, so that'll be good. I just kind of wish we knew what had gone on, so in case that ever happened again, we wouldn't be out of commission.
Well, the gnomes are still coming to help you figure that out. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll be cool to see the gnomes. Well, now you said there's both goblins and gnomes, right?
Indeed.
Okay. Well, it'll be nice to see. Nice to see proper goblins, people with shells on their backs and everything. But I don't know. These gnomes. I hope they don't look too funny looking. They it always kind of worries us when we see people that don't have armor. People ought to be able to have built-in armor.
He kind of looks over at Galibar. I know
Seriously,
that
cat?
feeling.
What did you say?
Sorry. My cat's beating the crap out of me with her tail.
I know that feeling. It would be nice if everybody had built-in armor, but then I wouldn't have a job.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess that's true. Okay, well, you got the sludge, so we can take it down to the refineries. And how much did you need again? And you tell them how much it was that you needed. And they're like, oh, yeah, this is sufficient quantity. We'll get that done. And so as you all start to head off, Mochi gives you a little wave, and there's a little flash, and he winks out. And so we'll come back and check in on you guys in a few minutes there. Oh,
real quick, Adamant looks over at Galibar and says, I've noticed he stopped counting. It'd be a shame if something was wrong because he stopped counting.
Well,
There's something to be said for rituals.
I mean, there was a couple times where he teleported with us where it went perfectly and he wasn't counting.
Yes, but now that he stopped counting, that's what is going to happen. Law of averages, Anyway. That's all he had.
Okay, yeah. Chat, I see on my phone, it looks like there's been the stream froze, but we're still recording. So I don't know if they can hear us. Okay, Amish, the stream go boom. OBS is still recording, but apparently Twitch has decided to lock up. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it because we're still recording. All right, it'll come back when it comes back. All right, so you guys have that discussion about Mochi and his counting. And yeah. Oh, okay. I see what happened. I think I see what happened. It looks like it. All right, timeout, guys. Are we? I'm gonna go take a look at Twitch and see. Yeah. Come on. Oh, come on, you. There we go. Do 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 do. Yeah, do do. Go here. And then, oh no. Apparently we are not. That's very strange. Okay. Yeah, it looks like for whatever reason the stream dropped. So, I am going to. I don't mean we'll have 2 clips for this session, but that's fine. So I'm going to